I see there is some problem with the SAP services. Morning it was working fine, but I think the SAP server is getting recycled. So let me again log in and check. Not a problem. So we'll move on to the topics. So if the SAP services are ready, then we'll come back to the one what we left yesterday. So yesterday we discussed about the fragments. Okay. So fragments, they act as the global views, as a customized dialog boxes, and we saw how to invoke a fragment, how to open the fragment. So let us see Northwind services are working fine. So let us practice something on this Northwind services. And once the SAP services are back, we'll continue with the other stuff whatever we have in topics. Okay. So let us discuss about the templates, worklist template and the master details template. And we'll be using the Northwind services time being. Now, when you execute this application, the application which is developed in the SAP UEFI application template with one view, you directly open the UEFI application. Directly open the UEFI application. So the basic idea of opening the UEFI application is from the Launchpad, the Fiori Launchpad. So that is rectified, and in the other templates, whatever we see now, so when you open the application, there will be a Launchpad. A simulation of the Launchpad will be there from SAP, and then we are going to open the application from there. That means there won't be any index.html as we are seeing here in our SAP UEFI application template. You don't see any index.html in the other templates. Okay. Worklist template in the demo apps. If you visit the demo apps in the demo kit, we have employee directory. This application is built on the worklist template. Worklist means list of work items where you can have two views and also the navigation between two views. So here the list of employees are shown and I can navigate into the next view. So you can have n number of views. Third view on the top right side. So this is custom view. So first two views are by default provided by the framework. So the first view is called as work list view. That means we have worklist.view.xml and it has its own controller. and a navigation will be there to the next view. That second view is called as object view. That means we have object dot view dot xml and its corresponding controller. And on top of this, we can build n number of views and we can have navigation between them as well. So by default, navigation is provided between the two views by default internally with the concept of routing. No, this point is the current to when the routing root means in the component of global. I tell you the global entity. Okay, so let us go into the show the products of Northwind using work list template. So in this templates, OData consumption is mandatory. OData consumption is mandatory, and at the same time, there is no index.html, but there is a FLP sandbox.html will be there. You have to execute the FLP sandbox.html. So in the web ID, we have the template versions till 1.7. So 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. In the view creation, there is a semantic page being used, which belongs to the form layout. In the 1.4 and the earlier versions, semantic pages are used from the sap.m library. So we'll create with 1.4 version. With 1.5 also I'll show you. Semantic pages are synonymous to the pages which we had in the SAP UEFI application template. In the view, we have pages, and here in the templates, we have semantic pages. So in the API reference, check the differences, normal pages and semantic pages. Far more advanced pages. So in the SAP UI5 application template, you see the page content here. In the other templates, you see semantic pages. Okay, let me close all. So we'll take 1.4, the stable version. Right click on the workspace. So let us keep the Northwind services also ready. Northwind OData services. We already configured this in the SAP HCP. We already configured this. Right click on the workspace, new project from template. Choose the version 1.4. 1.4. Choose the SAP Fiori worklist application. So in the roadmap on the top, you can see template selection, basic information, and you can see the data connection in the third step. So the data connection is mandatory. In the SAP application template, you don't have the data connection. Click next. Project name, the SAP UI5 underscore prod 044 underscore. I'll just write Northwind work list 14. Click next. We are familiar with the data connection screen. So here choose the service URL, and in the drop down, select the Northwind. So if it is not there, please go back and configure in the SAP HCP. Relative URL. So copy this /v2/northwind/northwind.svc. Click on the test button, and you can either choose the entity set here or in the next step. Products. Click next. Click next. Now you see here application settings and data binding. Application setting and data binding. So here application settings, it just need to give the title of that, where on the Fiori app what title you want to see, and the namespace what we already gave in, where we give it in the first step in the SAP application template is the namespace. Next, data binding is the object collection. That means the entity set. Object collection ID is the primary key of that entity set. One primary key will be there for the OData service for that entity, for entity set. Object title, any title you can use it here. So let me first fill these things. Application settings. So there are two things in the drop down. The default whatever is there, just use that as it is. Title. So on the Fiori app, what title I want. So let us say Northwind products namespace com dot yash YSH. Object collection. Object collection, the drop down. Products. Product ID. The object collection ID, which will be automatically identified by the object collection object ID field, primary key. Object title. The drop down, you can select any object title, for example, product name. On the right side, screenshot is there, how it looks when you populate the data, sorry, when you execute the application. Object title, first column, object numerical attribute, object unit of measure. So with default values, when you are creating, you will get the first column as product name, and more columns you can add it from the code level. So at the application or at the code level, you can add all those things by visiting the work list view in the first page or object view in the second page. You can customize again lots of things. Now this field, object collection field, is very important field. In the backend OData, when we are working with the NetWeaver Gateway Service Builder tool, there's a tool which I told you, which we are going to see in the later sessions. In that tool, we are going to create our own entity sets and also properties. To the entity set, there will be one configuration, addressable. When you are creating the entity set, to the entity set, there is a configuration called as addressable. So OData developers must check that. It is a checkbox. You have to set it true. If you don't set it true, UI5 developer cannot see that entity set in the data binding, in the object collection. That addressable field is not mandatory field in the backend. Okay. If some of you miss that addressable section, again you can go back and configure that. Again you can come back, activate that service. That is not mandatory field. Even then the service will work. Okay, the service will work. Whatever service is generated in the backend and you want to use, service will work. But you don't see the entity set in the drop down. In that cases, if the OData developer is not available, then from the UI5 development perspective, you cannot use the worklist template with that service, because when the entity set is not found in the drop down, you cannot proceed further because that is a mandatory field. So there are lots of other alternate solutions also. you can make use of the SAP UFI application template. Okay, because in that you won't get this wizard. Okay, you can manually consume the service. When you are manually consuming the service, you don't reach this template customization. You just give the service, click next, next finish. If you remember that setting there. Okay, but here it asks you for the data binding. So this screen, if you can take it in your notes, well and good. Because I'll again tell that I'll speak about that addressable section now. I'll again just tell you that this is what I was speaking about when we are in the backend network gateway service builder tool. Just give some information about the tool and we'll create one service. Same template customization we even see in the master details template also. Okay, master details primarily is used for showing the entity sets on the left side and referenced entity sets on the right side. So for the purpose, master details template is used. So in that scenario, there you find data binding object, data binding line item. One more option you will see when you are working with the master details template. Here you see only data binding. Okay. So when we work with master details, I'll show you that as well. I'll minimize this screen. I'll open that when we use the master details template. So anything important is there here, you fill those things. Rest of them just you can click on next or you can directly click on finish. So it will prepare all the required information using this template. And you no need to go into the code. Directly you can execute the application. The table is created. The code is written. All is handled by the framework. Okay. So I'll directly execute this application. Right click on the application, new, run as web application. What should I select here? Third one, FLP sandbox.html. So this is the title which is showing here, Northwind products. This is the simulation of the SAP's launchpad. Okay, it's not our launchpad. We have our own launchpad. Later we'll see that our launchpad which comes from our server. Click on that Fiori app. And you can see the first view. This is worklist.view.xml. And click on any of the work item. It takes you to the second view. This is object.view.xml. Okay, two views it has created. Okay, so let us go into the coding part. Web app. Under web app, open the controller, open the view. and you can see the worklist.view.xml and its corresponding controller, object.view.xml and its corresponding controller. Rest of the files are base files or the root files which opens the worklist and the object. On top of this, you can create a number of views. The topic also will take up later in the application template. We'll see that. You can have a navigation also between them. Open the worklist.controller.js and worklist.view.xml and analyze the code. So when I'm asking you to analyze the code, on the lines on the left side, right click, collapse all, and open that one by one. Now you can see there are some standard functions which are given by the framework. In that, there is a lifecycle function, and rest are all the user-defined functions which are the events handled, which are coming from the worklist.view.xml. Semantic full screen page. I was telling about the semantic page. Semantic full screen page content. Between the content goes here. So they have used the table control. The framework has provided the table control, which you already have knowledge on. And in the on init, this is all handled by the framework. And open the object.view.xml. Here there is a object header. That is what you are seeing, the product name here. So if I want to add more columns to the first view, worklist.view.xml, you can do that. So let us play around with this 5-10 minutes, and then we will try to make this worklist template a full screen template. Okay, full screen template means we'll try to comment all the standard code, and we will have our own code for populating the data. Okay. So first what we will do, the worklist.view.xml, inside the table control, you have the columns, you have the cells. Fine. So in the Northwind products, let us try to add 4 or 5 columns. Product ID, we'll try to add the product ID. Product ID, anyhow, name is there, product name. Supplier ID, category ID. Okay, we'll just add quantity per unit, unit price, units in order, discontinued, this is all the meta which we are adding, the table column names. Just one second. So in the cells also add all the modal data. One, two, three, four, five. One, three, five. Add the modal data also. product ID, product name is already there, quantity per unit, unit price, units on order, discontinued. You can use the object identifier for the product ID. Okay. For the column list item, if you see, there is a type property which has a navigation. So this is the navigation. When you click, it goes into the next page. It has one more value called as active. So let us don't use that now here. Now, if you are seeing this, it is little bit well formed. Then you can have the growing threshold You can add those things here. Growing is true. Okay, next, growing scroll to load. True or false? What I told? False. Make it false. And what is the other property? Growing threshold. Try to change the values. Save all. Go to the output. Again, cross check whether you are getting the same thing what I'm seeing here. Next, on this first page only, let us try to make this appropriate object name plural, the first object name and this first column name. So these are all are the hard coded text and the key is maintained in the IA18N dot properties. I18N dot properties. Okay, there might be some bugs in the templates, but kindly ignore those. Search for the first column name. Search for the first column name in the I18N. First column name. Okay. So what is that? You change it. Product name. Product name. Object name plural. Work list table title. Let us change this. This table title. Manage. Might be manage in this one. So let us change this here. Line number 11. Let's change this. Manage not with products. So we changed two things here at line number 11 and line number 29. Okay. Again, go to the output, refresh. Seeing the product name here, this is the value coming from the I18N dot properties file, and the top also, this also coming from the I18N dot properties file. So this is for maintaining the languages. We use the resource model. So we'll maintain one language file and we'll change our browser language and we'll try to see how these values are coming and the side effects of not converting the hard coded text into I18N, that also we'll see. Okay. We'll try to maintain one language file. Copy this I18N dot properties. Right click on the I18N dot properties. Copy it. Copy inside itself. Inside the I18N only you copy it. Edit, paste. Now name it as I18N underscore. So we'll maintain in the Hindi language, for example, underscore HI. I18N underscore HI. Okay. And those two values, you convert it into Hindi language. So line number 11 and line number 29. Two things. So open Google Translator, English to Hindi. And copy that Hindi on the right side to the I18N underscore HI product name. Don't make any changes, just copy and paste it into your I18N underscore HI dot property. Okay. So change your browser language. To Hindi and completely remove the English language. Remove the English language, then relaunch. So you can see that once you convert that, you have to maintain the proper language files. So wherever the client is located, whether it is in Germany or Japan or in India, Hindi, HI or Tamil or different pages, if the application has to be seen, then you can perform this I18N. You have to maintain those many language files. I18N, if you see that, it looks similar to the binding what we did using the reference I18N. So in the manifest.json, under models, types of models, third one is resource model, which I told you. So the resource model is being used here. sap.ui.model.resource.resource model, and the reference is I18N. So other things you can convert it: object name, product ID, quantity per unit. So all the hard codings must go into the I18N. So anything you want to convert, for example, product ID, you have directly hard coded that product ID. So you need to convert that into I18N. So there are a number of ways here: automated process, or you can manually convert it. So in the worklist.view.xml, so product ID, I have hard coded it directly. So two things you can do it here. As you can use the binding I18N greater than PID. So PID is the key, and in the I18N dot properties at the end of the file, you can just mention that the key is PID and the value is product ID. This is one way. Or directly worklist.view.xml quantity per unit. So you can right click on that. You can right click there, and you have the option create I18N string, and you have the string key quantity per unit, the value quantity per unit, and type. So type is just a comment, but it is also made mandatory field. So what type it is? It is a text column on the table, or a text on the button, or a checkbox name, a column header. So you can choose anything here. Column header, click OK. Then this will be automatically updated in the I18N dot properties. Okay. Last bottom of the I18N dot properties, you can see. Now, any line item, if I click, any line item, if I click, it takes me to the object.view.xml Okay. So those are done with the IIT name. Those are done with the IIT name. Open the object.view.xml using the layout editor. దాంట్లో ఇష్యూ ఏం లేదు. ఓకే, సో ఓపెన్ ద లేఅవుట్ ఎడిట్, సారీ, object view, open this in the layout editor. Open with the layout editor. Product name, title is there here. On the right side, product name, intro, number unit. So here try to bind it with other values, other properties. For example, product name. Right side there is a bind this property is there. Quantity per unit. Double click on that. Bind. Intro. Unit price. Number. Units on order. Units in stock. You can hard code any values on the right side. Just randomly add some values on the right side to the intro, to the number. So when you work item, you click, those details will get in the next page, next view. Okay, so one more thing in the I18N dot properties. So you have to maintain the files based on the language locale. Based on the language locale, maintain the property files as I18N underscore xx dot properties. XX is nothing but the mnemonic for the language. So where can I refer this? You get that mnemonic in the Internet Explorer. The two-letter word you'll get in the Internet Explorer. EN for English, JA for Japan, HI for Hindi. So you can go into the Internet Explorer in the properties, sorry, in the tools, Internet options, languages. You might be familiar till here. So the languages get all the two-letter words. The Chrome it is not there. Chinese, ZH. Chinese has ZH. English, EN. Only small letters. You try and see with capital letters. I don't think it will take for the capital letters. German. I tried with Hindi and our local language because when I use another Japan language, for example, to test it, I need to change the browser language. But I cannot come back again if I change the browser language. Unless until I know that language. Okay. You have to uninstall and reinstall. That's difficult. English is actually not the default. You have to maintain one English file also. Okay, you maintain one English file. Otherwise, else what happens? No, first time when you execute the application in the console, it will scold you that I don't find any EN file. So what you do? Just time being maintain that. Copy the i89.properties and have that underscore EN also, so that you won't get that error as well. So EN in that normal i89 first main file has the English letters only, English language only. On the right side, there is a, from the bottom, there's a third icon, problems. From the right side, third icon, problems is there. So in that, make sure that errors are zero. Errors are zero. And console is also there. We can see all what is going on in the console. So during deploying the application to the backend, so we'll see that console also. Close all. We'll try to make the work list application a full screen application. I89. Yeah, it will automatically understand. It will refer to that. Refer to the language. When I change the browser to Hindi, it will check that whether underscore HI is there or not. What is that ID? Only one file, not three files. It will get only one file. So first you have to do it in the i89.properties. Okay. So if this project is for 1 month, for example, on the 30th day before, this is a checklist. So before you deliver that or deploy to the backend, you maintain English file and other files, other language files, what your client will ask you. Okay, if its business is there in the different countries, you have to maintain those many files. A few things you can handle it from your end. Other things from the client side also they will handle, maintain the property files. There will be separate language translators in that client location also. You can take the help of them, or you can just submit that properties file on the right side. You can use Google Translator uh, if the hard codings are like 20 or 30. If there are 100 200, you cannot go on doing that. It takes a lot of time. If it's a major project, it might have 200 or 300 hard codings, because everything whatever you are seeing here, this and the text on the button, okay, everything must be converted to i89. It will take at least 3-4 days time if you sit it and work on converting. You can use Google Translate at the same time. So most of the languages, I mean, you can convert it using the Google Translator. And when you submit it, your business might return it back if there is any issue with that particular language. Okay, and before submitting only, you have to maintain other files. So in the standard application, when I show you the Fury standard application, there will be 13 to 15 language files which are maintained, because the standard apps must work for other different countries as well. Okay, not only for India, which we see only in English always. And then when you are submitting it, you have to, at the same time, you have to convert the key value pairs to that particular location. Okay, so let us again create a new application and we'll make it full screen and we'll try to have our own code. Create a work list, create an app using work list template and make it full screen to show the Northwind products. Making full screen means you need to comment the automated code, whatever code is being used, you just comment it. So it's very easy, just rename the onInit function in the work list .view.controller.js. Rename the onInit function to something like underscore onInit. It no more behaves as a lifecycle function. And in the work list .view.xml, you can reuse the table control or you can comment it as well. Comment the whole table control. Better. So you again have a table control. So let us use the 1.44 only. Right click on the workspace. Right click on the workspace, new project from template 1.44. SAP Fiori worklist application. Click next. Basic information project name ZSAP UFI underscore prod 05 underscore. I'll just write full screen. Northwind. Click next. Service URL. Select your Northwind. Copy the path to /v2/northwind/northwind.svc. Don't copy the products. Till the service you copy it. /v2/northwind/northwind.svc. Select anything you want here, or even if you don't select, also move to the next one. Up to you, because anyhow we are commenting all the framework written code. Here quickly give the title. space object collection, object collection ID, object title, click finish. Okay. Expand this. Worklist.controller.js. Open this worklist.controller.js. Rename this onInit function. Just keep underscore. Then you can have your own onInit function. Open the worklist.view.xml. Table control. You completely comment it out. Control shift forward slash. Control shift forward slash. Commenting that shortcut key. In the controller, just rename this onInit. Just put underscore at the beginning. It no more behaves as a lifecycle function. Your server won't touch this one. Now create a lifecycle function onInit. onInit, O small, I capital. So in that, just I wrote some JavaScript statement, because if there are no errors, this will be executed. And without any user intervention, when the browser starts up, this onInit function is called with the message alert message. onInit, O small, I capital. So you get the hi message here, means it has become a full screen template. Okay. Put a comma here. Every function you should have a comma. The worklist.view.xml, comment the table control. Comment the table control. So the commenting in the XML is less than exclamatory hyphen 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 greater than symbol. This is the comment. We can apply that. Try to execute and see whether you're getting the alert box. I told you alerts, they are JavaScript statements we should not use, but just I want to show you, even if you use it shows an error. So we should not get any errors here. Must be full screen. Now on this full screen, we will try to have our own code. So we try to consume the Northwind services, read the products entity set. Remember the code? Write the code for that.
Creating the object for the order.
Yeah. So those who know, please write the code where data is equal to that URL must come from the manifest.json.
Manifest.
Copy that. Next, where OData model, where JSON model. So just see whether they are there. JSON model is there. You can have a OData model. SAP slash UI slash model slash OData slash OData model. First complete this. The top library definitions. SAP slash M slash message toast. So in the worklist template, filter is there, for JSON model is there, filter operator is there, OData model is there, message toast. I'm sorry, OData model, message toast. I'm writing now. So you can observe that in the application template, we wrote all these formatters, not formatter, JSON model, filter operator, filter. Okay. So those have practiced that 5 lines of code to try to write it without seeing. Those who did not practice, copy it from the one who has written the code. Where OData model 1 is equal to new OData model data where JSON model 1 is equal to new JSON model. Next, OData model 1 dot read the entity set okay, that is the signature of the read inside the, so the commenting here is 2 forward slashes if it is a single line comment, block comment forward slash star forward slash. success with OData, comma, response and error with a message inside it. Message toast dot show failed